Hello students, welcome back. Today I'm Anuradha from Art and Progressive School, going to start another topic of the same chapter that we were discussing in the last class, and the chapter name is the principle of inheritance and variation. So here in this chapter we have discussed that what do you understand by inheritance. It means that transmission or the transfer of character from parents to their subsequent generation. It is inheritance. And what is the variation? The differences between the parents and the offspring, this is known as the variation. Okay, so here in this series we have completed the different laws or the three laws given by the Mendel: law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. So here in these laws we have devised that how we can use it. It means that according to the law of dominance, what will happen, that one of them will be dominant over the another one, so that it can suppress the effect of the recessive trait, right? Likewise, in the law of segregation, during the gamete formation they are segregating with each other. So here both the law of dominance and the law of segregation, it applies on monohybrid cross, right? So that much we know about the Mendel's law. Now we have done that some exceptions are also there. What does it mean? It means that when we are saying that for one character two traits are there, for example we have done plant height, okay, and this is the character, it is having two traits, that is the tall trait and the dwarf trait, right? So in these two, what will happen, we are indicating tall with a capital T and dwarf with a small t, and when we are going to cross this tall with the dwarf parent, what we are getting there, we are getting that capital T and small t. It means that we are getting the dominant character. Okay, so this dominant character is showing that it will dominate over this recessive one, so that the phenotype of this plant, it will be the taller one, right? But here in case of the exception, it is deviating from this ratio here, because if I will go here for the selfing of this capital T and small t, what we have done, that it will form capital T, small t, from here capital T and small t. Ultimately, when we are making the cross combination, capital T, small t, then capital T, small t, then small t, small t. Okay, so these are the genotypes which we are getting in the F2 generation, right? So we have done this thing of all in the previous class. In F1 generation we are getting the dominant one, okay, which is suppressing the effect of the recessive trait, and in the F2 generation what we are having, we are having three phenotypes, okay, three of tall type. If I will talk about the phenotype, and only one will be the dwarf. So if I will talk about the monohybrid cross or the law of dominance, so we have done the phenotypic ratio is what? It's 3:1, okay, and genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. So this thing we have done in the law of dominance. Now, if I will talk about the exception, it means that somehow it will deviate from this ratio, okay. What about this exception? What we are calling it? We are calling it incomplete dominance, okay. So here what is the condition? The condition is complete dominance, okay. What is the condition? Complete dominance. It means that one is dominating over the another. What about the incomplete? It means that now it's not going to complete. It means that both are having a tendency to express themselves. So where they will express? In the incomplete dominance. So none of the allele dominate over the other, okay. It means that this is one of the allele and this one, for example this capital T and small t is there, okay. So this is one of the allele and this one is the another allele. It means that now none of them, not capital T nor small t, okay. So none of the allele dominate over the other. It means that both having the capacity to express themselves in the generation, okay. Second point, none of the allele fully expressed in the next generation. It means that if I will talk about the next generation or the subsequent generation, again none of the allele is going to express. So what is going to happen? The phenotypic and genotypic ratio will remain same. Now we have to understand how this incomplete dominance, it is different from the previous one according to the law of dominance, right? So here I have explained all the law of dominance. Now if I will talk about the deviation, because in the exception, okay, in the exception we are going to understand how it is deviating from this part, how it is different from the law of dominance. Okay, so common information about this incomplete dominance is that we can see this thing in the Mirabilis jalapa, which is also known as the 4 o'clock plant, or we can say Antiarum, or the snapdragon, or we can say the dog flower. Okay, so this is the information that where we can go for this cross combination. And here what is happening, there will be two types of flower. So here in this incomplete dominance we will study that two types of flower, that is the red color. Okay, there may be the red color and another one will be the white color flower. Okay, and the red color is dominant one. So how we are indicating here, that with the help of R. Okay, and the recessive character or the recessive trait we are indicating with the small rr. Okay, now we are having two parents, that are the homozygous condition. Same thing which we have done in the law of dominance also, that we have two parents of homozygote condition. Okay, so now how I will write it here again, that if I will talk about the parents, okay, this is parent 1 and this one is the parent 2. Okay, we are considering it as a female parent and here we are considering it as a male parent, right? Now the first parent we are having, the genotype is what? Red. So what is the phenotype here? So what is the phenotype of parent 1? It is red. And what is the phenotype of this parent 2? It is white, right? Then what will be the genotype here? It will be the RR and small rr. That much we know about it, how we have to make the cross combination, right? Now from here they will form their gamete. It means that another step is what? For the gamete formation. So when they will form the gamete RR and they will form gamete small r, right? It means the same, right? And we can write it like only RR as well as smaller. Okay. Now what we are going to, we are going for the crossing. Once we have formed the gametes, we will go for the crossing method. So when you will cross this one, what you will get? You will get, from here we are getting only one type, that is the capital R. From here we are getting the small r. So what will be, you can see that R, capital R, small r. But now condition is different from this part, because here what we have done, that one is dominant over the other. But now in this case what is going to happen, the flower which will form in the F1 generation, after crossing it, what we are getting, this flower is of pink color. When there will be the mixing of the red color with the white, what is forming there? There will be forming of intermediate step. Okay, or the intermediate state means that neither it will be red nor it will be white. So here what is the change, that it will form a new type. It will form the intermediate type between the red and white, and the color is what? The color is the pink color. Okay, so what is the deviation? Here one is dominating over the another, but here none of the allele is going to dominate. So instead of that, what is happening? It is forming a new type, and that new type will be the pink color. That's why we are seeing the flower color of the Mirabilis jalapa. Okay. Now second thing, if you will go for the F2 generation, in case of the incomplete dominance, what is going to happen? Again you will cross or self-pollinate with the RR small r. Okay. Now again same thing will be there. What will be there? That they will form their gametes. Okay. Now these are the two parents and they will form their gametes R and capital R, small r. Okay. So now again if you will make the cross combination, or if you are going for the crossing in the F2 generation, what you can say? RR, then this one capital R small r, this one capital R small r, and this one small r small r. Okay, so from here what you can conclude, the thing is somehow same. Okay, but the difference is that now the color or the phenotypic ratio will be changed. It means that now what you can see, that this one is what? It is indicating the another thing, it is indicating that how they are forming the structures here. So we can say that 1 is to 2 is to 1. Okay, this one is the red, this one is the white. Okay, and these two indicating what? Now these are the pink in color. Always and always this capital R, small r, what it is indicating? It is indicating the intermediate state. Okay, it is not going to indicate the red color, which we have done here. All the tall they are, whether it is a homozygous condition or heterozygous condition. But here, when the condition will be homozygous, then only we can say it is a pure. Otherwise, in the heterozygous condition, it will be the intermediate. So, what will be the phenotypic ratio here? The phenotypic ratio is 1:2:1. This one is the phenotypic ratio. Now, what is the genotypic ratio? 1:2:1. So, what we have concluded from here, that in incomplete dominance we are having the same phenotypic ratio as well as the genotypic ratio, that is 1:2:1. But if I will talk about the law of dominance, you are having the phenotypic ratio is 3:1, and what is the genotypic ratio? It will be 1:2:1, and that's why it is deviating from the law of dominance. So this is the difference between the law of dominance and in the incomplete dominance. So here there will be the complete dominancy of one of the allele, but here there will be no dominancy. Okay, that's why we are calling it incomplete dominance, right? This is the first exception of the law of dominance, right? Now comes to the another example. Another example is what? Co-dominance. Co means both. Okay, it means that both are dominating with each other. That means that both are showing or expressing their character. There will be no intermediate, then there will be no blending. Okay, but still both of the allele, they are having the capacity to express themselves. So here we can say there will be the joint expression of both the alleles, right? And here examples can be the coat color in the cattle. As well as you can see that when two alleles able to express themselves, they will independently express. Okay, they are not going to present together, they are remaining together, but they are expressing independently, right? There is no dominancy over the another one, which we have done in the law of dominance. That's why this co-dominance is also the exception of the first law. Okay, so how we can make the cross combination here? Again, I am drawing it here. So second example of the co-dominance, as I have said, the coat color. Coat color can be, for example, this is a coat. Okay, it is having the coat color of black type, because it is of black type and it is of white type. Okay, so I can indicate with the another one. Coat color is what? Of black color, and here the coat color is of white color, right? Another one is the white color. Now we are indicating the black color with the capital B and white with the small b and small b, right? So when we are going to make the cross combination, here what we will found that they are forming their gametes capital B, small b, but when again we are making the cross combination like this, capital B, small b, capital B, small b, capital B, small b, it's just like a law of dominance we are doing, right? So ultimately what we are getting, the F1 generation, means the offspring which is going to develop from this black and white coat of the cattle, it will be of both type. It means that they are having the white coat as well as the black patches. Okay, white coat as well as the black patches on the skin, right? So no one is going to dominate, means that it is having black also, it is having white also, and both are independently expressing themselves in the F1 generation, right? So this is also example of co-dominance, means that both of them, they are working together. Okay, so this is one of the example of the co-dominance. Another example we can say the blood group in case of human beings. Okay, and we know that in our body, in human body, how many types of blood groups are there? 4 types: A, B, AB and O. So here you will understand the another example of this co-dominance. What is it? It is the blood color. Okay, if I will write it here, the blood group in human beings. Okay, in human beings, how many they are of? A, B, AB and O, right? 4 blood groups are there. So what we are indicating? We are indicating that all these blood groups, they are governed by the same gene. What is that gene? It is the gene I. Okay, so this gene I, or we can say I, right? So this I gene is indicating all the four groups here, but it can be of dominant type as well as the recessive type. If I will talk about this A, B and AB, okay, this is also governed by the gene I, but this one, these are the dominant ones. So how we are indicating? With a capital I, right? But this O gene is a recessive one, that's why we are indicating with the small y. Otherwise, what we are indicating, that alphabet will remain only I. Okay, capital and small letter, it is indicating the dominancy as well as the recessive one, right? So here we will understand that multiple allolism. Multiple allolism is what? It means that if it is governed by the same, if all the trait of all the characters governed by the same gene, it is known as the multiple allolism. Okay, now here in this part, in this blood group is for explaining the multiple allolism also, as well as for the codominance also, because what we are seeing here, the blood group AB, the blood group AB, in which A is also present and B is also present, but they are not mixing with each other, just like we have done in the incomplete dominance, nor it is dominating over the another. For example, if it is a blood group A and B, okay, and if you are indicating with IA and IB like this, okay. So what I mean to say, that in law of dominance, what it is saying, that one of them allele will dominate over the other, which is not happening in this blood group, because what we are getting this blood group AB, right? Nor it is doing just like the incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance, there will be the mixing. It means that there will be the formation of new intermediate. But here when there will be IA and IB, there will be no intermediate form. It means that now it is the example of what? Is the example of codominant. Means that it is also expressing its effect, is also expressing effect, and ultimately we are getting the blood group AB. Okay. Now, how we are going to make this cross combination and what are the possibilities here? Okay, so one by one, I just want to discuss with you those possibilities which we have to do in this codominance. So again, I am writing the blood group in human beings. So here, how many blood groups we are having? IA, IB, IAB, okay, and IO. So how we can write it here? We can write that if the possibility is what? Of the blood group A, okay, but all these blood group is dependent on what? Dependent on the surface antigen. If I will talk about this blood group A, okay, so for example, these are the RBC, biconcave structure. So on the surface of RBC, some antigens are present, okay, so it decides that whether what type of blood group is there. So if I will talk about the blood group A, it is having the surface antigen A. Okay, so in this blood group A, what is the surface antigen? It is the A. Likewise, if I will talk about the blood group B, what is the surface antigen? B, right? And if I will talk about the blood group AB, it is having the surface antigen both A also as well as B also. Now, if I will talk about the blood group O, here there will be no surface antigen. So we can say that in case of blood group O, in the surface of the RBC there will be no presence of the antigen. This point should be clear, okay, that in of how many they are having the surface antigen and of what type. Right, now comes to the thing that how we can make the possible genotypes. For example, if I say this is the blood group A, for example, we are saying this, we are indicating all the blood group with the gene I. Okay, so this gene I having blood group what? It is having IA. Okay, so how can I can write it? This one is also IA. What can be the other genotype here? It can be just like this one also. Okay, so this is the possible thing. Now, for the blood group B, how can I write here? IB as well as IB. This is in the homozygote condition and this one is in the heterozygote condition. So this one is what? This is the homozygote condition and this one is the heterozygote condition, right? And what type of antigen they are having? They are having the antigen A, okay, and here they have antigen B. Okay, now comes to the another one, because I don't have any surface antigen, that's why I'm not writing any part of it. Then condition can be what? The condition can be we are having IA and IB. Okay, so A is also there and B is also. It means that how many surface antigen can be A as well as B here. Okay, then condition can be what? It can be the I. Only I we are indicating. So what is it is indicating? It is indicating that they don't have any antigen in their surface. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 combination can be possible from where? From the 4 else here, which is indicating. So all this, how many we are having here? We are having only gene I having A, B and A, B, O are there. And how many possible genotypes can be there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 genotypes are possible. It is mentioned in your NCERT also. Okay. So here in case of this one, there will be no antigen. Okay. So what is the blood group here? A. Here what is the blood group? B, and here what is the blood group? AB, and what is the blood group here? O. So these are the information regarding all the cross combination which we are doing. Okay. So from this part, from this table what you have deducted? You have deduced that how many genotypes can be possible from this blood group. Okay. Now from this part you can also find out that the possible genotype of the offspring also. Okay, if you know the genotype of the parents, you can easily find out the possible genotype of the offspring also. How we can do it? If I will talk about the table, okay, if I am just making one table here, this table shows it how all they are just expressing the codominant, means that no one is going to dominate over the other. So what we are having? We are having the allele of the parent 1. Okay, and this one is the allele of parent 2. Right? So how we can write? We can write that allele is what? It can be IA. Right? So it can be IA as well as it can be IA. This is the possible thing. Again, if this is the IA, again it can cross with the another blood group, that is the IB, and another one is the I, another one is A, and it can be I. So what are the possible thing here which we have formed? That IA can cross with the IA also. It means that parent 1 can have this allele also as well as the same allele. If the parents having different, if one parent is of IA type, it means blood group A, and another parent is of blood group B, and if one of the parent having the blood group A and another parent having the blood group O. So how we can form, or how there will be the possibility of the genotype. Okay, so here what we can say, that there will be chances that IA will cross with the IA, right, and here IA with IB. Okay, and IA and then I. So what you can conclude from this part, that here both are forming the blood group A. Okay, so what will the blood group here? A. Here the blood group can be AB of the genotype, right? Here the blood group will be A. But what is there? This is the homozygote condition, this is the heterozygote condition. From both homozygote as well as heterozygote we are getting blood group A only. Likewise, if I will talk about the blood group B, IB, IB. Okay, 3 times I am writing here. Again, IB can be with the another parent IB, and here another parent can be I, or we can write the starting one IA, then IB, then this one is I, right? So now what we have started, when IB will cross with the IA, it will form again IA and IB. Okay, and then IB will cross with the IB, again homozygote condition. So what it will form? IB, IB, right? And from here IB and I. So what we have concluded, that this blood group can be AB, this can be B blood group, and here it can be only the blood group B. Okay, again what we are having, the another structure, that is I. Okay, now this I can cross with all three, IA, okay, IB, and this I. So what can be the possibility here? Again you can write that I will cross with I. So another one is IB cross with the I, and I will cross with the I. Okay, parent 1 having this I, it means that O blood group, and here A, O, then B, then O, then O. Okay, so what can be the possible genotypes here? The possible genotypes is that it will form IA, because it is part of what? It will form IA, and this one is form IB, and here it will form the blood group O, right? So from here we can say that this part which is indicating blood group AB, whether this here or this here, what we have found, that both of the alleles, they are expressing themselves and it is forming the blood group AB, and this is the example of co-dominance. Okay, whether all the other example related to the multiple allelism here, somehow in the heterozygote condition it is showing dominant effect also, right? So there must be three differences: incomplete dominance, or starting from the complete dominance, incomplete dominance, and the co-dominance, in which we are indicating both the things at once. Now we will understand that another topic, that is the back cross method. Okay, back cross, the name itself indicating that something which are indicating with the back method. Okay, whenever we talk about the cross, it means that it is the fusion of two type of parent. For example, parent 1 and the parent 2. Okay, and when we are going to cross with each other, what we are making? We are making the hybrids, right? So after crossing the parent 1 and parent 2, what we are getting? We are getting the F1 generation. Okay, so if I will take one character, that is the plant height. Okay, so the plant height having the genotype capital T, parent 1, and here parent 2, capital T, sorry, small t and small t, both are in homozygote condition, right? So from here they will make their gametes capital T and small t, small t. In very short, what we are writing? We are writing that capital T and small t. Okay, from here we are getting same type of gametes, from here we are getting small t. So when we are going for the crossing method, capital T and small t, in F1 generation what we are getting? Capital T and small t, right? So here in this back cross method, what we are doing, we are crossing this F1 with any of the parent, whether it can be with this parent 1 or with this parent 2. But here the back cross method can be of two types, that is the out cross method, and second one is the test cross method. So what do you understand by the out cross method? It means that whenever we are crossing this F1 with the dominant parent, what is it? Dominant. It is a homozygote dominant. This one is the dominant and this one is the recessive, right? So whenever we are crossing the F1 with the dominant parent, okay, so what you will call it? You will call it the outcross method. Okay, and whenever we are crossing this F1 with the recessive parent, okay, or with the recessive one, it is known as the test cross. Okay, so I'm writing here F1 with the recessive one. So this is the difference between outcross method and test cross method, and importantly you have to understand this test cross method and what is its role here. Test cross, we have done that always and always when F1 will cross with the recessive parent, and due to this what will happen? Again there will be the gamete formation. Now here, from here we will get two type of gamete, capital T and small t, and from here we are getting only one type of gamete. Okay, I can write like this also, or I can write just like this also, small t and small t. Okay, so now when we will make the cross combination, what is going to happen? Capital T, small t, capital T, small t, small t, small t, and the small t and small t. It means that half of them we are getting, 50% we are getting the tall parent and 50% we are getting the dwarf parent. It is just different from the law of dominance which we have done there. Okay, so whenever we are crossing with the recessive parent, what we are getting? 50% will be of the tall type and 50% will be of the dwarf type. But this 50% they are heterozygote tall and this one is the pure dwarf. Right? So from this we have done that how we will make the cross combination for the test cross. Now question is that what is the role, what is the function of this test cross? We can just use this test cross method to find out the genotype of the parent. For example, if I say that there is one parent, okay, there is one parent which is of violet color. What I said, the parent is there which is of violet color, but we don't know the genotype. Okay, so how we are going to find the genotype? There may be the two possibilities. This violet color, it is due to what? Because violet is what? It is a dominant character or the dominant trait. So it is governed by what? It is governed by the W gene. So here what we can say, the possibility can be that this violet is in condition of this capital W and capital W, or this condition can be capital W and small w. Okay, both are showing what type of the trait. It is of violet color. Okay, but we don't know the exact genotype of the parent because this question is now question mark, right? So how we can find out? What we will do, we will make the cross combination of test cross. Means that we will cross this one also with the recessive one, as well as this one will also with the recessive one. Why? Because what, this one, this WW is what? It is a dominant trait, and this small w is a recessive trait. Okay, so when we are having two conditions, whether the condition can be this of capital dominant type or it can be of the heterozygote dominant. Okay, so for that what we have to do, we have to make cross combination just like this one, that capital W can crossed with the recessive. Okay, this one is the parent, and we are crossing with the test cross method, and we are crossing with the small w. Okay, and second condition is what? Capital W and small w, again we are crossing with the small w and the small w. Okay, how we have used this test cross method to find out the genotype of the parent. Okay, now from here what can be there? Capital W, and from here small w and small w. Okay, so take same type of gametes from parent 1 as well as same type of gamete from the parent 2. Okay, so what we will get it here? Capital W and small w, right? So we can say, if I will make the cross combination, capital W small w, capital W small w, capital W small w, and this capital W and small w, right, from this part. And if I will see here, speaking with the another color, gametes can be of two types, capital W and small w, from here small w and small w, right? So if I will make the cross combination, capital W small w, right, and here again capital W and small w, from here small w and small w and small w, right? So what is the difference between these two parts? What we have interpreted from here, that if you will see this first condition, in the first condition, what is it? All four are same. Okay, it means that 4:4, out of 4 all 4 are same. So ratio is what? 1:1. When you will see it here, that 50%, okay, it means that 50% they are of same type, and this 50% they are of same type, right? So if you have to solve the question based on this test cross, what you can write, if in the generation you are getting 50% of both type, then you can say the parent it is of heterozygote tall or heterozygote violet. Okay, in place of this thing I can write the plant height also, it can be TT also, it can be small t, right? But here we have taken the different example of flower color, that is the violet color as well as the white color. So what we can say that whenever we are getting the result 50%, it means that it is a heterozygote dominant, and when we are getting the ratio 1:1, okay, in generation, it means that parent is the homozygote dominant. So this is the difference between these two homozygote. Whether the parent is homozygote dominant or the heterozygote dominant, we can use this test cross method, okay, on the basis of their ratio, which we are getting 1:1 here, but here the ratio is what? Half. Okay, it's out of 4, 2 are what? 2 is what? Of the dominant type, and 2 of them they will be the of recessive type. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.